You know that feeling when you're staring at a wall of pump options, wondering if you'll end up spending a fortune on a system that never really fits your basement's quirks? I've been there wasting time reading endless spec sheets, only to wonder later if I chose the right thing for the oil-filled lift station I'm trying to protect. That hesitation is real, especially when a failure could mean a flooded workshop or a costly oil spill. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So, let's talk about the Zoeller 940-00130.5 HP Oil Guard System Elevator Sump Pump. This isn't just another generic sump pump. It's built specifically for environments where you have both oil and water mixing in a pit. The first thing I looked at was the NEMA 4X enclosure. In plain English, that means the control panel is sealed against both dust and corrosion, which matters a lot if you're dealing with oily residues that can cling to metal and cause premature failure. In the field, I've seen cheaper units with plastic housings that crack under the chemical assault of oil, so the robust enclosure here is a genuine peace-of-mind factor. What really sets this pump apart is how it handles the oil's water dilemma. The built-in preset on and off points actually differentiate between oil and water levels, triggering an alarm when oil reaches a critical height. That isn't just a beep. The system flashes a light and sends a dry contact signal you can wire into your building's monitoring system. In practice, that means if you're running a workshop with a hydraulic oil tank in the basement, the pump will alert you before oil spills over the rim, giving you a window to intervene. That kind of early warning can save you from a costly cleanup and potential environmental fines. Now, who should consider this system? If you run a commercial garage, a small manufacturing line, or even a home workshop where you store bulk oil in a sump, the Zoeller Guard pump is a solid match. The 0.5 HP motor paired with a 20-amp internal relay gives enough headroom to lift oil from depths of up to 6 meters, which is typical for most underground pits. The 20-inch piggyback electrical supply cord also means you can route power from a nearby outlet without having to splice extra wiring, something that electricians appreciate for both speed and safety. On the flip side, if your only concern is moving plain water out of a residential basement, you might be overpaying. The oil-specific features add cost and complexity that a standard water-only pump doesn't need. Also, because the unit is designed to handle oil, it's a bit heavier and bulkier than a simple water pump you could mount in a corner. If you have limited space or need a portable solution for occasional water removal, you'll probably want a lighter, cheaper alternative. Let's break down some practical strengths that matter after the box is opened. First, installation is fairly straightforward thanks to the pre-wired control panel and the long power cord. In a recent job, the installer hooked the pump up to a pre-existing riser pipe, attached the cord to a GFCI outlet, and the system was ready to run in under an hour. Second, the audible alarm coupled with the visual indicator is loud enough to be heard over the hum of workshop equipment, but not so shrill that it becomes a nuisance. The dry contacts give you flexibility. You can tie the alarm into a larger SCADA system or just a simple relay that triggers a backup pump. Weaknesses are subtle but worth noting. The pump's flow rate, while adequate for most oil pits, can be slower than a high-capacity water pump when you're dealing with a sudden influx of water from a storm. In one case I read about, a basement that experienced a heavy rain event saw the oil guard pump keep up with the water level, but the water lingered a few extra minutes before the pit was fully cleared. If you live in an area with frequent heavy rains and expect a lot of water on top of oil, you might need a secondary pump or a larger motor. Also, the NEMA 4X enclosure, while protective, adds a bit of weight to the mounting bracket, so you'll need a sturdy support structure, something you can't just nail to a flimsy wall. Another practical point is maintenance. The preset on-off points are adjustable, which is great, but they do require you to calibrate the sensors when you first install the unit. If you're not comfortable tweaking those settings, you may need a professional to set them up, adding a little extra cost. Once set, though, the system is low maintenance. The dry contacts and alarms give you clear signals when the pump needs attention, so you won't be caught off guard by a silent failure. Overall, the value proposition comes from the combination of oil-specific detection and a rugged, sealed control panel that can survive the harsh environment you'll find in an oil-laden sump. The 4.6-star rating from over 3,000 buyers suggests that most owners feel the trade-offs are worth it.